There's plenty of places that are dirty. So why hate on each other? I love it.
I mean,
That's it right
seriously,
there.
that's what I tell guys here locally, because some of these guys get their egos so damn big and driven, and it's like, why? Like, just because you think that I'm competition to you, I'm not competition to you. You probably would have never even been on these job sites that I'm on. And another thing is, there's no fucking possible way you could cover the whole damn ground. And if there was, this place wouldn't be dirty.
Great experiences build great leaders. Great leaders build great teams. This is Building Great Sales Teams.
All right, guys. After 280 something episodes, I still bob my head to that music. I still love it so much. I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So hopefully y'all haven't either. All right. So today we're gonna be welcoming someone from the trades in today. And the trades is definitely something that I've been getting deep in the last couple of months. We've signed on like 3 or 4 roofing companies recently, and a couple of other companies. We're getting into the gutter space too. So we're gonna have some gutter guests on here pretty soon. But the man that I have for you guys today is Nic Staton, and he is the founder and owner of Wet and Wild Pressure Washing. He's an expert in running and scaling pressure washing businesses. Nic, what's going on, brother? How you been?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on.
No, this is awesome, man. I was just recently on your podcast and we had a blast on that. The energy was through the roof. So I definitely had to have you on mine. And let me ask you, what are you up to today? What's going on in your world?
I am actually about to head out with one of the trucks that's been broken down for a little while and going out to just test run everything, make sure everything runs good before we actually go to head to Florida again and have another episode of breaking down.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about this rig, because this rig is pretty crazy that you got set up here. This is not just like, hey, I'm gonna go to Lowe's and I'm gonna buy a pressure washer, and this is like heavy duty stuff here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is going on here? What all you got here? You got the tank, and what else?
Yeah, there's a water tank. That's a 36-inch surface cleaner on the side. There's a 45-gallon fuel cell that sits right behind that. Then the hose reels on the top, those hold 400 feet of half-inch hose. They're 28-inch long. It's got 2 17-gallon per minute motors on there that are Siamese together for 34 gallons per minute. And inside of that enclosed trailer, there's actually a 0-turn lawnmower that's custom made that has a 6-foot surface cleaner on it. It's got a curbinator to where we basically can sit down on a lawnmower and clean concrete and clean curbs and stuff like that, where most other companies are going to go out there and do it traditionally, and they're going to walk everything with surface cleaners, or they're going to turn around and clean the curbs traditionally, and that's basically having to clean it in 3 different sections, where we can do it in one.
Wow. And so what I'm curious about is, well, first of all, I mean, that's just, when I think about when I was a kid, 20, years old, I started a mobile detailing business.
Right.
And I had to use the hose from my client. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how like grassroots startup it was. And I always like had this little dream when I first started that I would have this truck and trailer and the whole rig and everything you're talking about now. How long did it take to put together a rig like that?
Oh, it's taken us some time. When I very first started out, I started out in 2016. Started off with just a 4-gallon per minute pull behind, had 100 foot of hose, had a water hose that I would attach to your house. I would pull that out of the truck. I would set it up to where I needed. And then I would actually drag that around to different places because once again, I only had 100 foot of hose on there. And I started off that way until I kept burning myself. And then I finally got to the point where I would strap it down on my tailgate. That way I didn't have to burn myself of getting it in and out of the truck. Then I kind of stopped on working for the pressure washing for a little while and focused on another business, and then got back into pressure washing in 2020. That's when we revamped everything. And once again, I started off with just a trailer setup, an 8-gallon hot box, and just a water tank, and started off that way. And each year I kept just buying more things because I kept seeing what we needed to basically make our time more efficient, make us faster, and then make us, get things done just a heck of a lot better than what we were doing and not killing ourselves. By doing that, I finally got here to I'd say my 3rd year. And that's when everything started clicking together, and I got the flatbeds and all of that put together. And then last year finally bought, or towards the end of the year, got that truck that you were just showing on there. And we've only used it 3 times so far. And each time that we've used it, it's set records on everything that we've done before.
Wow.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. Like, over the weekend, was it over the weekend? Yeah, it was over the weekend. My zero turn was down. And you were talking about the zero turn in the trailer. And, I used the push mower instead while it was down, and that was just horrible. You know what I mean?
We've been out running on one truck since that truck's been broken down every time, and we really needed it, and we've been doing everything traditional, dude. It's been killing us. It takes us so damn long, and I can see the guys just getting just so tired after a while. It's like, cleaning curves repetitively over and over and over. That shit, man. Nah.
And you're
especially when you got this equipment.
Yeah. It's there and you just can't use it because you can't
use it because the damn truck. That's the bad side about putting everything on flatbeds that I've learned.
Man, but I bet they're in shape though.
Oh, they're in shape. Everything's in shape. I'm just going to build out a trailer to where when one of these trucks break down, we can at least go hook up to a trailer and still, perform.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anybody can pull that trailer,
Yeah, anybody, any truck, it doesn't matter what it is. You can pull that to the job site and at least get something done or have something extra.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, let's talk about this logo, man. Because that was one of the first things I noticed was the logo,
Right.
And it's just, it pops, you know what I mean? But right away it took me back to like Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Saved by the Bell logo, and then we basically took the Wet and Wild from the water parks that was down in Florida. And I think there was a couple in Texas, but they ended up closing down. So we took that name, and then we just had a buddy who slapped it onto that Saved by the Bell logo. And
yeah, so it was Saved by the Bell then. Okay.
Yeah. Once I tell people that, they're like, "Oh my god, that's what that is." Because they try so hard. They're like, just like the '80s theme, and I'm like, Saved by the Bell.
No,
like,
that's Saved by the Bell. Like I know my '90s shows. Like we watched Saved by the Bell every morning before we went to school. It was Saved by the Bell and Family Matters, and then when I was younger, it was Power Rangers.
Yep. I was born in '86, so all that.
Oh, we're the same
there.
age. 86 for me too. I'm 38 now. April.
I'm about to be 38 this next month on the 20th of May.
Very cool. Yeah. Obviously, it's the best generation there is. I mean, right before everybody started getting soft, right?
Yes. And this website is actually our older website. We have another website up now. It should have popped it up whenever you typed it in. Did you type in, or where'd you find that one?
I just Googled Wet and Wild pressure washing.
Okay. Yeah, that's our older website. We've got another website that's up. It's a lot.
Gotcha. I think probably because it's got more SEO, it's probably popping up first, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just popping up first because it's been around longer.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
has.
see. I see. Okay, this looks like the new one here. I want to make sure I share the right one for the people that are watching on YouTube, so y'all can see when y'all go to the right one. This is it right here. Is this the right one now?
Yeah, that's the right one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep, it's got
Very cool.
everything on there. There's the zero turn right there. You can actually see it.
Dude, that thing is sick, man. So you can still you can oh, so the zero turn has water coming from where the blades would normally be?
Yeah, we took the guy took off that pan and basically customized another pan that's ideal to what a surface cleaner is, and then
Mhm.
it can rise up and down because of the way
That's
that the
sick.
surface cleaner pulls that other pan up and down.
Mhm.
So I can go anywhere from 1 inch to 4 inches up in the air.
That's freaking cool. And
And
then the guy just got to ride,
that whole
you know?
concrete pad that pitcher's on, that would
Mhm.
normally take us about 21 hours
Mhm.
walking it and cleaning it. And I got that done in like 3 hours, 4 hours.
You know what I love about this? It is that wheel modified too?
The front wheels?
Normally it's the sides. You got the side control. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's actually the Cadet's made like that. It actually
Okay.
has a steering wheel, or either it has where you can have the two arm things, and it's better for
Yeah.
the steering wheel.
Really? Because
Yes.
I have the two arm things.
Well,
Yeah, I was curious because I haven't.
mowing lawn,
Yeah.
you want the two arm things, but when it
Okay.
comes to something like this, it's better just to put your hand on that little knob and just kind of turn it
Uh-huh.
like that.
Oh, that makes sense. That's cool as hell. Yeah, I'm sorry for the people that can't see this setup right here, but I never would have thought you'd use a zero turn in pressure washing, but this is cool as hell. So if you
Yeah.
guys get a chance, make sure you check out the YouTube version of this so you can see that zero turn. It's sweet. So I gotta ask, why pressure washing? Did you just come across a job that was in pressure washing? You're like, hey, this is it. Not a lot of people are doing this. This is hard work. So I got to end
No,
here.
I actually got out of jail in 2012. Or no,
Mm-hmm.
before I went to jail, I started working for a pressure washing company and then worked with them when I got out too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just the scale of work that they did, I just found that I never really would have made it to like being a wandman. So I was just kind of a helper.
Mm-hmm.
And we did industrial work. And something just it caught a spark in my interest.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up taking some of my money and just going and buying a pressure washer and a
Mm-hmm.
surface cleaner and started going to work and came up with a business name and took off. And I didn't really even think nothing of it, man. I honestly just
Mm-hmm.
did it just to do it. But then
Yeah.
after the bucket truck stuff tanked and I had bought my house, I had nothing else. I had just bought my house. The bucket truck stuff tanked. I had no
Mm-hmm.
money coming in, and it was like, Nick, you're either going to lose this house or either you got to figure out something and get your ass
Yeah.
back out. And the only thing that clicked back in my head was pressure washing.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and spent $13,000 on a trailer and a little setup and just got out and started working. Ended up doing a graffiti removal job, posted that graffiti removal job online on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
pictures of it and stuff. That ended up catching interest of one of my buddies that I went to school with that was out
Mm-hmm.
on a commercial job site. And he hit me up and he said, Nick, come out here and give me a quote to clean this parking lot. And I said, okay, I'll be out there. So me and my dad, we took off and we went out there. And I got there and I didn't know how to bid it. I didn't know what to do. So what I did is I called my old boss, I put him on FaceTime, turned the phone around. I was like, hey, you see this parking lot? He was like, yeah. He's like, that's a pretty good sized parking lot. What are you trying to do? And I was like, I want to clean it and I want to win this estimate. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
I should price it at? And he gave me a price. And when I gave them the price, they accepted it. Me and my dad went out there. We spent 5 days cleaning that. I thought that was the best damn thing in the world. we made $3,700 in 5 days, and it just kind of trickled on from there. That company ended up giving me more work. In 6 months' time, I ended up doing $84,000, and I was like, "Shit, this
Wow.
is where I need to be." Bills were getting paid, and I just kept on going. The next year, I had a slap in my face because that company didn't have enough money in their account or whatever to really pay for pressure washing a whole lot. So they were sending me out to do estimates, but I just wasn't landing hardly any of them. I think I got 2 of them that year out of 9.
Yeah.
Ended up just kind of getting out, networking, and just finding more people and just doing whatever I could. At that time, I was actually putting out some signs and stuff. Ended up doing 84K again, but it took me the whole year to get that 84,000. Then that's when, and then that's when I ran into Todd Price and asked him some questions, and Chase, and there was a couple other people, Anthony and them at the table. And I
That
said,
was perimeter roofing, right?
Right. And I said,
Yeah.
what's this Apex shit that y'all, I keep seeing everywhere? And Todd was like, I'll link you with Zach, and y'all can discuss, whatever y'all want to discuss about you joining Apex. So Zach hit me up, and I joined Apex. That year I did 184K by implementing pretty much what Ryan Stewman had put out in that that breakdown academy or whatever.
Break
I
Free
watched
Academy.
all those videos that he had put out, and I just studied them. Started building my machine, and then next thing you know, I was doing 240,000, and then now here I am, signed a contract for what they said was $250,000 worth of washing, but shit, we're already at $200,000 in projects on 3 of them, and we've got 9 with them alone. And then they're continuing buying more properties, and we're basically their in-house washing company now.
Beast. And so you're only a third of the way through the year on that.
Yeah, I got a feeling, bro, we're probably going to clear at least 500 to 700,000 this year easily.
Pressure washing.
Just pressure washing. Yeah.
So when you started out, I would imagine it was more residential, and then it's grown into these bigger commercial
I took
jobs.
on anything and everything that I possibly could, and then I found what my niche was, and my niche really was red clay removal. And once I got into the red clay removal, that just kind of started speaking out to everybody. My work just spoke volume. And next thing you know, those contractors were telling other contractors, and it just kind of built up. And I was like, Nick, you just need to kind of focus more into the commercial. You still need to have some residential, because the residential is, you get paid that day. All commercial is all net pays for the most part, besides our in-house company that we work for, because I sent invoices 2 weeks prior to us going. And I get them a hell of a lot faster from them. But everybody else, dude, they'll take their time, and you just got to stay on their ass to get your checks from them sometimes.
So let's talk more about kind of what you're implementing on the social media side. So obviously you learn how to do this from Apex, and obviously there's a huge network there too that you get with that.
Right.
But as far as executing on the social media side, what are some of the things that you're doing that actually, because we know, especially with building your machine, and I know this on the consulting side, it's like usually somebody will be connected to me for like 6 months before they actually act on anything. So are there certain things you're doing right now that are getting you quicker turnaround times, and like immediately, oh hey, I need pressure washing, and one of Nick's friends liked the post he had, and it's doing really well, and I see that, and I reach out to him, and you get that job?
I just post repetitively. If you can tell, you probably can go back into my Facebook page and just see how I constantly tag my business page as well. My business page has about 2,000 followers on that. I have 6,000 on my personal one. I'm constantly tagging people, constantly tagging my business. So all of that expands my reach out farther. I'm not flooding them with just one type of content, and that's not just flooding them with my business. I give them a variety of different things. By me just doing that repetitively over and over and over and being consistent with it, I find it that when I get in front of people that I prospect out, that I want to go present our business to, it's so much easier because they've already seen us. They already know who we are. So then when I get in front of them, it's not that hard to sell them because they already know and they've already seen my content. They see that I basically have put myself out there with my story as well too. So I'm kind of vulnerable when it comes to the stuff that I put out. And all of that is just kind of touch base with a lot of different audience. So I'm constantly getting hit up for just different things. People, whether it's other companies, people that follow us, other let's see, like, I don't know, I guess just other pressure washing companies, people that follow us on there, and then just people that just randomly see my stuff pop up. They're reaching out and then wanting to do business with us. So it's not even really me having to sell myself to a lot of these people when it comes to us getting this work.
No, that makes a ton of sense. One of the things I noticed in the truck wrap, it's like,
I'm big about
I've done consulting work for 3 wrap companies now. And one of the benefits of having like a solid design wrap wise is when they see your wrap, because it is the 80s stuff, you know what I mean? And because it is these colors that pop so well,
right.
Immediately they're never gonna forget you. You know what I'm
No.
saying? And so it places that little log in their memory. And then when they do need pressure washing, or they have a friend that's a business owner that needs pressure washing or something like that, and say, oh, I need to get that cleaned up, looks bad or whatever. Hey, there's this company. Yeah, Wet and Wild. Okay. Do they remember Wet and Wild? No, they remember that pop and that design and everything. And then they see the words on that design, so it takes them back to that memory of seeing you drive by. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so people don't really realize how important that actual wrap design, the logo design, the marketing and branding actually is. And then on top of that, you're doing it organically as well, which it makes sense why you're growing year over year. So
Yeah, I've actually been talking to some people to try and get some ad type stuff going, because I know that that would just help us with more leads coming in, and that's kind of what we really need also, because organic, you can grow really, really good, and I'd say that's the backbone to every business. If you don't have your organic stronger than your ad leads, then you're going to fall on your face as soon as those ad leads stop.
Or they
But
change the algorithm, or they get more expensive, or it's not trendy anymore. Let me ask you this. I'm kind of curious, because this is I'm watching this pressure washing happen, because I'm not sharing it right now, but like, it's one of those satisfying things. Are you taking advantage of that with like TikTok and the algorithm there? The satisfying bit, you're doing that?
yeah, I do all of that. I post on pretty much everything, and
Mhm.
everything clicks, because not everybody that comments, not everybody that likes are really the people that we're actually doing business with. We're doing
Mhm.
business with the people that just see our stuff and want to do business with us. Those are the people that are actually closing in on things. A lot of the people that are commenting on stuff and like that,
Mhm.
they're not really closing out on things. But at the same time, they help feed the the machine, to where my machine actually reaches out to those people that are actually closing in. So everybody
Mhm.
is playing a part in this, whether they're sharing it, commenting, liking it. It doesn't matter. You're all helping my machine keep on going. And the ones that get on
Mhm.
there and hate, they're the ones who are really driving my machine up or whatever on the videos and stuff, because I post reels all the time. And
Yeah.
people will get on there and just dog the shit out of us. And it's like, well, thank you.
Exactly, right?
One guy actually told him that because he just kept going on and on. And I was like, dude, thank you for helping me get paid more. And he was like, whoever gets paid from Facebook is stupid. And then he just deleted himself. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a client that is recruiting through TikTok right now and just crushing it, recruiting door-to-door salespeople, if you can believe it. And the way that they're doing it is they're just doing a day in the life. I made this much money today, or whatever the case is. And one of the first thing they say in the video is, and I don't sell anything. But then they talk about sales for the rest of the video, and people go nuts. It drives them nuts. They're like, you just said you didn't sell anything, and then you're like, and all we do is sell energy, or all we do. And they are just going nuts over it. But they're driving the algorithm so much that like you said, the people that are closing in on it, it's working for them because they get to see it and they get to, and it's true. There's no transaction that happens. There's technically no sales that happens, but we know that in order to get someone to even listen to you at the door, you have to have sales abilities. That's what they're talking about. Like, you got to sell them on having a conversation, but you're not selling any physical thing. It's just a discount on their bill. You're selling them a different source of energy, which is shared solar on a solar farm, but there's no rooftop or anything that you're actually selling to them. And so, but they are like, 300,000 plus engagements, and they're getting 200 to 300 leads from their demographic that is perfect because they're tailoring their content to it,
Right.
And even the words that they say in it and the hashtags that they use, they're using nomenclature that attracts 19 to 22-year-olds because that's their demographic. That's who they're hiring. They're traveling the country. You can't be a family man and do this job. They're traveling the country, Airbnbs. They're working, 60, 70 hours a week, but these kids are bringing in 8 to 10 grand a week. It's insane.
Can't beat that.
Yeah. at 20, 21 years old. But anytime something is that good, it's always too good to be true. So TikTok is eating it up. They are just like blasting them in the comments, but it's working beautifully. You know what I'm saying? Because it may be 300 people blasting them, but there's also 300 people applying for the job. You know what I'm saying?
I've never really gotten a whole lot of attraction on all of those. Like I said, it's just people just randomly reach out and want to be like, I saw you on TikTok, or I saw you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is. And I'm like, well, that just means that I'm doing my stuff. And I'm actually building up on LinkedIn right now. That's actually getting a lot of traction. The more
What are you doing over on LinkedIn?
We're actually running an automated system thing on there that's capturing 30 to 40 connections a day. And we are zoning in on certain type of customers that we want to do business with. And right now we're basically looking for all realtors, and there's 5,000 realtors that we're going to end up capturing. But the more that we end up getting our followers up and our connections up, and we actually break over 500, then that's when people will actually start wanting to do more business with us, and they'll actually know that we're an established company.
Yeah.
But I have a friend that's on there, and he's got 10,000 connections, and that's where he pulls all his big jobs from. Wow. He's pulled in some 6-figure jobs from there and stuff like that, because that's where all your commercial people are at. Where all your residential people are like on Google and Facebook and stuff like that. All your big commercial stuff is out there on LinkedIn.
So you just said one of your friends is on there and they're pulling 6-figure jobs. So obviously you hang out with people that do pressure washing, right?
Yeah.
Now, why would you do that? Isn't that your competition?
No, it ain't my competition. Nobody's my competition in pressure washing. There's enough. There's enough out there for all of us.
That's called an abundance mindset, y'all. That's called an abundance mindset. And
I actually work with other pressure washing companies and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, we're all in this for the same damn thing, and there's plenty of places dirty. So why hate on each other?
I love it. That's the soundbite right there. I got a couple of my producers listening on the show, and that's the sound bite right there. There's plenty of places that are dirty, so why hate on each other? I love it.
I mean,
That's it right
seriously,
there.
that's what I tell guys here locally, because some of these guys get their egos so damn big and driven, and it's like, why? Like, just because you think that I'm competition to you, I'm not competition to you. You probably would have never even been on these job sites that I'm on. And another
Mhm.
thing is, there's no fucking possible way you could cover the whole damn ground. And if there was, this place wouldn't be dirty.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so what are you guys excited about right now? Well, let me ask you this. One of the things I talk about a lot when it comes to building sales teams, and usually these truths are universal, whether it's a sales team, whether it's a trades business, whether it's operations or, you know, uh, an accounting firm. Like at the end of the day, people get into your business for the money initially. They need
Right,
to pay their bills. They have a need, they fill that need, right?
right,
Now, what keeps people at your business is opportunity, right? Is fulfillment, you know. And a lot of us, I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of fulfillment pressure washing, right? Unless you just love the satisfying videos and you get to do it yourself now, but that's going to get old fast, right? Because it's hard work. So what are you doing with your, especially going from what was it like 245 to you guys are going to knock out 5 to 700,000 this year? Major growth. You
right.
can't do that without people. You know what I'm
No,
saying? AI, robotics, all that stuff, sure. Eventually it'll get there, but right now you still need someone to steer that zero turn, you
right.
know? So what are you doing to ensure that the people that you're bringing on can see the vision and see the opportunity that they'll have in the future?
I explain everything straight off the rip of what I kind of need help
Mhm.
in and stuff like that, where my weaknesses are, what would help this company get to the vision that I have. And some people just don't catch on to it. I've
Mhm.
actually just here recently found somebody that does catch on to it. Um, and I'm actually putting him into one of my other trucks. So we have two trucks. I have a 2011 F450 that I originally started off with that's set up for everything. Then I've got the 2006 F450 that you posted the picture up that has the trailer attached to it.
Mhm.
That's what I'll be driving. And I'm actually putting somebody in the 2011. He lives about an hour and a half away from me. I'm just going to
Mhm.
allow him to take the truck up there to his area because now we can cover jobs in his area and
Mhm.
I can cover jobs down here in my area, and then we can join up together on bigger jobs. But as I get him suited into a truck, get him going, he's going to be a lead tech. The
Mhm.
idea is to set up more lead techs, have guys put into more trucks, and just duplicate as I go on. But
Mhm.
I feel like I can do $250,000 worth of pressure washing alone easily.
Right. Right.
And that wouldn't even be me working all year long.
Mhm.
Um, Having an extra hand, having somebody that, can wash, can be in his own truck, can go out and do his own thing. Now, when I go to Texas or anywhere like that, jobs
Mhm.
can get done while I'm
Yeah.
gone instead of them getting put on delay.
Mhm.
So that's where it's going to really help us out. And then I added in an admin. She's a VA.
Mhm.
She's been helping us out tremendously when it comes to taking phone calls. I finally got her able to put in invoices and stuff like that. She'll still, send them to me and then ask, "Hey, is this okay to send out?" And then once I say yes, then she turns around and sends everything out. But by
Mhm.
having her answer the phone, man, it takes a lot of stress off of me because now I don't have to focus on the phone from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The
Okay.
only person that I have to worry about contact is my office admin. Well, then
Mhm.
now I can focus on training these guys out in the field and getting them suited to where they're in the trucks and then they're actually doing production and helping us out. But way I'm starting them off is I'm starting them off a little lower, but telling them you have room for growth, and then you also have room for more growth. It's just all up to you and what you want to take out of this. But as long as you're adding things to this company, then this company will give back to you. But if you're not adding to this company and you're just wanting to take from the company, eventually you're going to get pushed away from this company, because I'm going to see that that's what you're doing, is just basically coming for a check.
Yeah. 100%.
And I need people that actually catch on to my vision and actually see where I'm headed and what I'm wanting to do. And this brand, it can be franchised. So it has way potential of a lot of growth. So even these lead techs that are coming on, they could eventually have their own franchise and be running their own branch, and in a whole area.
Is that the 10-year vision?
Yeah, that's the vision.
Franchise out Wet and Wild pressure washing?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. What does it look like for you when that happens? You got 5 franchises. What does your day look like?
My day will be I'm not even quite sure exactly what it would be like on that level, but I know that it would be a lot more of me being just talking about the brand and stuff, not even being in the field. Because I don't want to be in the field all the time throughout this whole entire journey, because otherwise it's not going to see the full potential of growth that it possibly could. I could get into a spot where I'm training and just going around to the different franchises and stuff like that and doing training and stuff. And I wouldn't mind doing things like that, but I don't see myself pressure washing forever. It's just not in me. Where a lot of guys that I run across, that's what their mindset is I'll just run this until it doesn't run no more. And it's like, well, one day you could potentially get hurt, and then that money revenue is never coming in no more. And that's how it is for me. If nobody's bringing in money, then bills ain't getting paid, and I'd lose everything. So I have to start thinking about building a team and building up people that can run this company without me.
No, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, yeah, that long-term vision isn't always easy to visualize, for lack of a better word, but
no, and you're constantly seeing better things and retweaking them and stuff like that as you get going. Because I also say that even with pressure washing, you got to work on the fly and think on the fly. And if you can't do that, then you're going to be a sinking ship. And it's the same thing with the growth of the company. You've got to think on the fly, and you've got to get, I guess, elevate or whatever with the industry, not get stuck in your times. And a lot of these companies get stuck in their times, and it's like, well, eventually somebody's going to come up behind you and pass you. Somebody that's not stuck in those times and always getting in with the new things and finding ways to make their company better, faster, and more efficient.
Couldn't agree more. So one of the things I always ask every one of my guests at the end of the show is basically a 2-part question. What does legacy mean to you, and what legacy do you want to leave behind?
What does a legacy mean to me, and what's the legacy that I want to leave behind? That's a hard one. I'm not even really quite sure, just for the fact that it's just, myself. If I left a legacy behind, I would just want people to know what I've done and how many people I've helped out throughout this journey of pressure washing, and believing in myself, and just going after my goals and not stopping, and believing in everything that I do. And then I guess the legacy that I don't even really quite even know how to even quite answer this.
Maybe it's a challenging question that you need to spend some time on.
It definitely is. I think I haven't even really quite thought of a whole lot of any of that, just for the fact that it's just, just myself, and I just keep on just working.
No, I definitely understand that, but you can tell you want to have an impact more than just your business, and the only reason I know that is because, what was it, like a couple months ago, you started putting yourself out there in terms of a mentor, and then a coach as well, right? So people
Right.
that I know you've helped a lot of people within the Apex organization itself, but now you're putting yourself out there as a mentor and a coach. And I think it's important, that we do that, you know, and all that matters is like we're one step in the ladder above somebody else, and we can impact them that way. But I think also the thing that you're doing right that probably I should have done in my first 2 years in Apex is you're charging people for the
Right.
advice.
Right.
It's too many times I've had all these conversations and given them the playbook. You know what I'm saying? And you know helped a lot of people out, and maybe like 5% actually execute, and those are the ones that post a couple weeks later or a couple months later or a year later, like, hey, Doug helped me out with this and I executed on it and here I am now, kind of thing. Which those make it all worth it, right? But at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time, how many more people would have executed if they actually invested, you know, invested in that time and actually like gave you that due, I don't know how to say it, uh, and then executed on it afterwards. So obviously you have that instinct to have that impact. It looks like.
Well, I have a huge heart, and I know exactly what it's like to not have nobody help you out hardly at
Hmm.
all. And then just getting out and getting out of your comfort zone is the biggest thing.
Hmm.
So when I say that I didn't have nobody really helping me out, I haven't had nobody helping me out all the way up until I was about 28, 29 years old, then randomly ran across somebody that just kind of opened the doors to me and helped me out in a huge way.
Hmm.
Uh, seeing that, seeing what he did for somebody that he didn't even know spoke volume to me.
Hmm.
So from that moment on, I just redirected my helpness, because I also come from drug addiction and stuff, and ended up selling drugs and stuff like that. So I felt like that I was helping people by giving them a safe place to go get drugs, but realistically, I wasn't fucking helping nobody.
No.
So I redirected myself, and now my help in this is coming out in a positive way. And
Yeah.
I can tell that what I've done for some people, and if they want more out of me, then yeah, that's where I go into the consultant thing or whatever. But
Yeah.
I feel like me just dropping gems on a daily basis out to people is catching so many more people spark and
Hmm.
allowing them to get out and eventually find themselves and help themselves become who they were supposed to be, because not everybody has that, and a lot of people hold this stuff in and think that I guess they want to hold all the secrets to everything. And it's like, man, just drop some of that shit out to people and allow it to go wherever it goes, and sit back and watch and see what happens with the things that you're dropping out and the people that are reaching out to you. Check up
Hmm.
on those people and just see if they're actually doing what you said that that helped them. And if it is, then keep on doing that and keep on helping people in a more positive way. And that's where I came in and kind of feel like that I'm helping people out is with stuff like that.
I couldn't agree more, brother. I appreciate it. As someone that does likewise, you like to see other people doing it too, and because I've benefited so much from it. Like personal, selfishly, have benefited so much from it.
It
When you
helps us.
put out that much value, then your
Yeah,
perceived value, like, okay, if that's what he's putting out for free, what I'm saying? What is he gonna give me if I pay him for the time? You know what I'm saying? So
right,
your perceived value just goes through the roof. Whether
right.
it's a pressure washing job or coaching or consulting or whatever the case is. So, no, brother, I want to thank you for coming on, dropping a
Yeah,
few gems, whether it be pressure washing or just, entrepreneurship in general. And then coming back from everything that those positions you put yourself in before, you know what I mean? Whether it be incarcerated and then coming out of that and changing your life is a huge testament to what anybody can do. I mean, if you can
God's
come back
helped me
from that.
throughout the whole entire way. He continues helping me. I pray to him every single day. I actually got saved in jail. A group of guys would come in there and do some stuff on Wednesdays, every single Wednesday, and I got saved in there. And I made a promise to him that when I got out that I would help as many people as I possibly could, and that's what I'm doing.
I love it, man. It's an amazing story, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man.
All right, guys, let's get building.